Hi folks, and welcome to Applying the Sword. I'm Micah Pilcher. When I went to college, I originally intended to be a cinematographer. I was convinced that I was going to change the world through the power of motion pictures, to compel the Christian through the strength of communication, and to convict the sinner by the persuasion of art. And towards that end, I went to Bob Jones University to study cinema. But God had other plans. My money dried up, and I had to transfer to Pensacola Christian and change my major. Even there, I still had the mindset that my usefulness to God was dependent upon my training and my talents. I did not dare admit this to myself, of course, but I had allowed myself to buy into the idea that God needed me, that my natural gifts combined with my competent training would make me a force to be reckoned with by the enemies of God, be they flesh or spirit, and they would be made to fear the great artist on a rampage of righteousness. But God had other plans. Before a man can be used of God, he must be broken. Brokenness is the condition of success in the Bible. For in the man devoid of will, God inserts his own. And when God is given free rein to do as he pleases through a man, then God will part the Red Sea for him. In our culture, we have an over-reliance on credentials. My dad, who has been called to preach, and possesses a great gift for it, and a great knowledge of the Word of God, and a passion for it, has always been turned down by larger churches because he does not have a doctorate. While my brother, who is not called to preach by his own admission, could walk into most churches today and get a job for no other reason than the fact that he is young, cordial, and has a master's degree in theology. This is an unbiblical approach, not just to ministers, but also to our idea of Christian service, which we are called to. Remember, the disciples of Jesus were called unlearned men, and Paul, the only of the apostles to have a very, very high education, referred to his credentials as, quote, dung that he might win Christ. Education and credentials are, of course, not at all bad in of themselves, but they are not a requirement for service, and they are not the promise of success. They, like money, time, position in life, and all other gifts from God, must be invested in God, whether they be a single talent or 5. We must avoid the temptation to judge others or ourselves for a lack of credentials, or to exalt others or ourselves because of them. Let us never forget the old saying, God does not call the equipped, he equips the called. All right, well, you folks have a great day in the Lord. I pray God blesses you, uses you, continue to grow you closer to him as you abide in the vine. You have a good day. God bless.